Hello everyone, part of our new initiative is we're going to be bringing you daily coaching videos for the GYMLESS program. So today we're going through the workout for Monday, the 30th of March. Okay, for today's warm-up, guys, you're going to begin with 10 alternating Spider-Man lunges with a rotation. And I want you to alternate legs each time. Next, we're going to move on to 5 inchworms. So from a standing position, you're going to walk your arms out all the way. Keep your legs straight, hold tight that you're in range, and walk back. From there, lying on our backs, we're going to go into 10 alternating scorpions. So you're going to lift your leg up, drop over to the side, looking for a stretch through our lumbar and thoracic. From there, flipping onto your front, we're going to go into 5 yoga push-ups. So you're going to go strict push-up, push back into your downward dog, stack your shoulders, good, and repeat for 5 reps. Your last movement, guys, you're gonna pick up a towel. Stretch your towel out, go as wide as you need to. I'm gonna perform 5 towel passovers, keeping your arms straight at all times. So, for the first portion of today's workout, you're gonna be doing a 12-minute AMRAP of strict handstand push-ups. Now, we're giving you guys a bunch of different options here, so it's really important that you choose the appropriate scaling option for you. We're looking for you guys to complete sets of 3 to 5 unbroken handstand push-ups at any one time. We're looking for controlled tempo, and when you finish your 3rd or 5th rep in each set, you should always have a couple more reps in the tank. Okay, so we're going to talk through your different options for the handstand push-ups. So starting with the level 1 option and progressing all the way to wall-facing handstand push-ups. We're going to really quickly talk about some technical pointers that you guys want to think about when executing this movement. So the first variation is we're going to complete an A-frame handstand push-up with our feet and hands on the floor. So first and foremost, grab something soft on your floor so you're not cracking your head on the floor. From here, the A-frame handstand push-up, the A-frame refers to the finishing position on the floor. So if Alex comes down to the bottom, you're going to notice he's setting up a tripod between his hands, his head, and his hands again. Okay, what we don't want to see is a head between the hands. So if Alex just repositions himself, this is not a strong position to press from. Similarly, it's not a stable position for the spine. So always looking to achieve the A-frame here. Then from here, he's just gonna press back up into his top position. Good, you can go ahead and bend your knees a little bit if you feel like your hamstrings are tight and you can't get into a good position. Similarly, you can go ahead and walk your feet backwards a little bit if that helped. Level 2 variation is with your knees on a sofa or a chair or a bench, with your towel still on the floor. We're looking for the exact same position, only now there's more load going through the body, more of a vertical position. So same thing, I was gonna come down, looking at that A-frame position, so it's a tripod between the hands and the head, pressing back into a vertical position. Try to think about driving your head back through towards the sofa. So level 3 now, we're taking our feet and place them on the seat or the sofa or the bench. It's exactly the same position. Al from here is gonna go down, again, looking for the A-frame position, and he's gonna press up, stacking the shoulders. And again, if you're finding like it's hard to straighten your legs or get into a good position here, you can always bend the knees slightly. So our next level now is a traditional back to wall strict handstand push-up. In terms of hand width, anywhere between shoulder width or wider. From here, Alex is gonna control down to the floor. Head's gonna touch the floor, still maintain that A-frame position, and he's gonna press back up again. Okay, so if you pause on the floor, that's gonna be much more challenging. Otherwise, control down, touch, press back up. The last and most challenging variation of this is a wall-facing handstand push-up. So you're gonna start on the floor, you're gonna perform a wall walk up the wall, getting to a hollow position, ribcage down, butt squeeze. Again, looking for the A-frame position, tuck your chin down, move down towards the mat, and press back up again. One more. Rest. For part B of today's workout, we have an EMOM. Between 4 different movements. Now you'll see that we always give you guys a time option. So between, for example, 12 to 20 minutes. That's really based on how you're feeling on the day. If you're feeling good and you want to get after it and you have a bit more time and energy, by all means push to do more sets. If not, the minimum sets is you choose a lower bracket number. Now what we're going to do is going to show you some movement options and movement execution tips for each of these 4 movements. We're going to always start by demonstrating with a bag, then we're going to show you variations if you have a dumbbell, and we show you variations if you have a kettlebell. As you'll see, we have 3 different movement options. We've got the bag, the dumbbell, and the kettlebell. So starting with the bag, the first movement you have is an alternating reverse lunge with the bag in a bear hug. Remember, this bag is loaded with objects to make it heavy, and you can make it as heavy as you like with whatever load you choose. Please try and weigh your bag and write down in the notes what the weight was so we can progress it next week. So squeezing in the bag, alternating lunges, back knee to floor. Fantastic. Now, if you have a dumbbell option, we have a number of ways that we can load this. Probably the first way we're going to do it is in a goblet position. So with your 2 hands underneath the head of the dumbbell, same position, your belly is nice and tight, and we're going through. Now, if you find that your dumbbell's not heavy enough and you want more of a challenge, we're probably going to put our dumbbell in a front rack position on one side. So you will complete your reps on set 1 on one shoulder. Then when you get to your next set, you're just going to put it onto the other shoulder so we balance ourselves out. Lastly, moving to the kettlebell. Same as the dumbbell, first option, we're going to bring it into a goblet position. Now the goblet, you can hold it either side of the kettlebell like Alex is showing here, or if you like, you can hold either side of the handle. Fantastic here, move through your alternating lunges. As another option, if you want to make it more challenging, bring that kettlebell into a front rack position on one side, to the front of the body, and again, alternate each set rather than each repetition. For the strict push-up, quickly moving through our progressions, option 1 is on our knees. Now, we're always looking for you to maintain a hollow position here, so butt squeeze and your rib cage down. I want your chest to touch the floor before your hips, and your chest and hips to leave the floor together. Good. Progression 2 is you simply move up to feet, 2 seconds down and press up, and try to focus on squeezing your chest at this top position here. Notice the whole time as we're going through this, we're keeping our belly tight and our butt squeezed. The last progression now, if you want to make it more challenging, put a backpack on your back. Again, with as much load as you want here. Fasten it nice and tight and execute your push-ups either on your feet or on your knees. Doing kneeling push-ups with a backpack is a good intermediary between a kneeling push-up and an on your feet push-up. The next movement is we're performing squats with the bag. Now the Zercher position refers to the arms being underneath the bag like you're holding an isometric bicep curl. Pretty simple, we move through the squat position here. Hips below parallel if you can, and stand up. Down again, and up. Now, of course, you can also do a bear hugging squat here, where you hug the bag on your front. If you want to make it more challenging, you can also place a bag on your shoulder on one side, which would add, fantastic, a bilateral challenge here. If you have a dumbbell, same thing as the lunges, you'll move through it with a dumbbell and a goblet. Good, or you'll move through it with a kettlebell in a goblet. We always have the single arm variations as an option as well. So the next movement, the last movement in the EMOM, is a bent over row with a bag. So from here, load your bag up. You start by executing a deadlift to start, all the way to the top. Go into your full hinge position, hips backwards, belly's tight. Now, as you row this bag into your body, I want you to focus on squeezing your lats as hard as you can at the top. Now you'll notice to squeeze the lats, we don't want to be shrugging up towards our ears. If the shoulders shrug up to the ears, we're going to be getting more trapped than lats. So arms go back to straight and row. If you have a dumbbell or a kettlebell, we're going to do exactly the same movement, but a single arm variation. So Alex, you can just show us with a dumbbell. You'll stand tall with a dumbbell, hinge, single arm row, squeezing the lats. Good, so either you can perform all the reps on one side in one set, or you can go half-half. So if it's 20 reps, 10 on one arm, followed by 10 on the other arm. The same would apply if we were to do it with the kettlebell. Stand up, hinge, and squeeze the lats. For the last piece of today's workout, we're doing some trunk work. So we want you guys to accumulate 2.5 minutes in each movement, and you have to do it in 30-second intervals. With regards to how long you rest between each steady interval is up to you. But in terms of which selection of movement you choose, it has to be challenging, but not to the point where by the end of your 30 seconds, you can't do any more work. I want you guys on your first set to leave kind of 10 to 20 seconds of really good quality work in the tank, because as you go through the sets, it will start to catch up with you. So Alex is just gonna show us different variations of each movement, and it's up to you guys to choose the appropriate level for you. Okay, so we're talking about the hollow body hold here, starting with level 1. What we always want to see is the shoulders off the floor and the hands off the floor to start. So we're compressing the rib cage down towards the hips. That's the golden standard for all variations of the hollow body. Level 1 is a 2 bent knee variation. By extending our levers, by extending one leg, we're going to make it more challenging. We can make it harder again by extending both legs. Then we can make it harder again by bringing our arms over our head. Good. Next movement is a prone arch hold. So what we're really looking for here is the feet squeezed together and the toes pointed at all times, arms extended overhead, eyes looking towards the floor, and we're trying to lift our chest and our feet off the floor as much as possible. Now, if you find this challenging, you can just go ahead and bend your arms slightly. Fantastic. It's going to lower your levers and reduce some of the load. You can even bring your arms together in a full Superman overhead. And you can progress it further by adding slight loads in your hand. Even a 0.5 kg load is going to make it more challenging. Our last movement in our core work is going to be our front plank. I want to get you guys to execute this on your elbows, but there's a few things to think about here. So Alex is going to pop up into his front plank. Now, what we're going to think about is squeezing our glutes first and foremost. Secondly, focusing on locking our rib cage down, just like the hollow body. The third position is the shoulder blades. We're trying to spread them apart as much as possible. What we don't want to see is the shoulder blades coming back towards each other. Good, so spread the shoulder blades. Now the last thing here is to try and focus on squeezing your glute and your trunk as much as possible as you go through this. So try not to make it easy. We can always progress the front plank by adding a backpack on our back. And execute the movement all the same. What I would say is try to get the backpack a little bit lower in the back so the load is placed through the middle of the spine rather than the shoulders. That's it for today's workout, guys. Remember, there is a cool down in there as well. So please take your time to stretch out, roll out, bring yourself back into a relaxed state before you continue with the day. If you guys have any feedback or questions, please put it down below and we'd love to get back to you.